What's up, everybody? Chris back from Top Notch Sports. This video is going to be on the my MLB playoff predictions. We have being it's September 3rd. We have nearly a month left in the regular season, the MLB regular season. So here are my predictions for the playoffs. I'll include what seed, their division, and just background on the team, reasons as to why I think they'll finish where I think they'll finish. So let's break it down. Number one, I have the Detroit Tigers winning, representing the AL Central, winning the number one seed in the American League. I'll add a second part with the National League soon after I make this video. But I look at the Tigers. I think they have the best ball player in the league, and Miguel Cabrera. I think he's dealing with, I don't want to call anything minor, but definitely not major setbacks with his abdominal. It's more of a day-to-day type of predicament. I think he'll be fine. They're saying he's going to be fine, and I think he could battle through the injuries regardless. He's proved now to be a tough player, and he's just he's an unstoppable force at the plate. So I look at that dynamic of it. I look at their lineup. I think they have probably the best, I don't want to say the best, but one of the best lineups in baseball, considering the fact that if you want to pitch around Miguel Cabrera, the superstar, the best player in the game, best player, clearly on that baseball team, you still got guys like Austin Jackson, Victor Martinez, Prince Fielder, Torrey Hunter, Iglesias, who they just added, and those are guys just off the top of my head, and it goes on, of guys who can hit you, hurt you, and hit the baseball. So runs, never a problem. And then you couple that with fantastic pitching with Scherzer and Verlander at the top. But then you look at the other guys like Fister, Porcello, and I forget the name of the other guy. Please check me on that. So never a struggle to score runs, never a struggle to keep the other team from scoring. Not a very tough division in the fact that you have the White Sox and the Twins, who are not even close to the level of the Tigers, Royals and Indians, who are relevant this season, but it's their first year back to being in that relevant category. Still, not quite on the level of the Tigers. I don't know how many divisional baseball games they have left, but when I look at it, their division's not going to be much of a grind. So I think they're going to, even though they're slightly behind Boston right now, I think they'll finish with the number one record in the American League over the Red Sox, mainly for that reason. But let's look at the Red Sox. AL East, who I have winning the number 2 seed. I look at them, I think they have great pitching. You look at Lester, you look at Lackey, Dempster, you got Buchholz coming back, you add Jake Peavy. That's 5, really solid pitchers, great pitching staff. So when I look at it, I see that they can really pitch and pitch very well. They have solid hitters, of course, with Ortiz, Pedroia, Jacoby Ellsbury. List goes on, of course. So I see that they can hit the baseball as well. So they're a solid hitting team. Maybe not on the level of the Detroit Tigers, but a solid hitting team. Just a tougher division. When you look at the dynamics of the American League East as compared to the AL Central, you see that you have the Rays, tough opponent, Orioles, tough opponent, Yankees, tough opponent. That's 3 tough opponents who are almost on the Red Sox level when they, match up head-to-head, as compared to the Tigers, who really no one in that division's on that level, because whether it's just, not whether, but mainly because those 2 teams, the Royals and Indians, it's their first year back to relevancy as compared to these teams now who've at the very least been relevant for a couple of years. They know how to grind out a season, how to finish a season, how to make the playoffs. More veteran presence as well in terms of playoff experience or late season experience. Number 3, representing the American League West, excuse me, I have the Texas Rangers. I look at this team and I think that they really are a fantastic baseball team. Of course, they're tied with the Oakland Athletics at this point. But I think they're a better team because I think their pitching's better. Their pitching, especially 1 to 3, is great. You got Darvish, great ace. Derek Holland, very good pitcher. Matt Garza, very good pitcher. So, especially the 1 to 3, so if you catch them in a series, that's very tough. Their pitching in totality is very good. So you look at that, you couple that with great hitting. despite the fact that Hamilton, who is their star player, not producing this season, but still on the Rangers, their star player, their best player. You look at Nelson Cruz, who was suspended due to performance-enhancing drug use, so he's gone. And they just, regardless of those departures, well, rather a departure and a suspension, guys have been able to fill the voids, like an Alex Rios, for example, of those given players, go in, play well, and still be one of the most formidable, top-tier hitting teams in the major leagues. That plus the pitching, I feel like they have more than what the Oakland Athletics have, so I think they will, finish with the number 3 seed representing the American League West, that division, of course. And number 4, I have the Oakland Athletics. They are somewhere in between 3 to 4 games, like 3.5, maybe 4 games. They're about, that's the margin between them and the Tampa Bay Rays, so they're up by that margin. It's not that the Rays, I don't believe in the Rays, because the Rays are a fundamentally sound team. They manufacture runs. They grind out innings. Their pitching is very good. But I look at the Oakland Athletics and I say the same thing. Just like that Moneyball team with Brad Pitt, they weren't the most star-studded team in terms of their roster and also in terms of big names. But it's just a bunch of good role players, complementary players. Maybe few exceptions here and there, but even like Yoenis Cespedes is he's not necessarily a household name yet. I mean, he's getting there because due to the fact he won the home run derby, but from a production standpoint, he's not necessarily what I'd call a household name yet. Very talented player, but again, he's only hitting like 230s last time I checked, which is rather recently. So, like everything I said about the Rays applies to them, but with the A's is they don't beat themselves. I don't anticipate them, going out there and beating themselves and losing, the games they're supposed to win. So that's why, being up 3+ games, I think plays in their favor, and I think they finish it out with the number 1 wild card spot, the number 4 when it comes to seeding. Number 5 out of the American League East. So there's 3 teams, and this might surprise people, but I have the New York Yankees because you look at the first portion of the season, particularly up to the All-Star break. At first, it was the pitching that was really getting it done. Very solid pitching, lack of run support. But now it's kind of the opposite. The pitching, recently is coming back a little bit, but their pitching, it wasn't what it was, prior to the All-Star break. A little bit past the All-Star break. Now it's actually their hitting. You had a guy like Mark Reynolds and Alfonso Soriano, both via trade, I believe. You get Curtis Granderson back. You get Derek Jeter back, the captain of the New York Yankees. You get back Alex Rodriguez. So their hitting is what's getting the job done at this point in time. But I look at it and I say, okay, so at one point it was the great pitching, one point it's the great hitting. Now that everyone's back, eventually, the two are going to intersect. Who knows, I could be wrong, and I could be maybe thinking of hypotheticals, but you would think, with the talent on their team, only being 2.5 back of that second wild card, that eventually these two are going to merge, because they're a very good baseball team. Now, with all the guys back, they didn't have those guys prior to the All-Star break, a little post-All-Star break. So I look at that portion of it. And I also look at the fact they don't have a tough schedule. They have a decent amount of bottom feeder type of teams, like they're playing the White Sox right now. And they also they couldn't capitalize, of course, but they played the Toronto Blue Jays. They have more series like that going ahead in September, the month of September right now. So, those are kind of series that you got to at least take the 2 out of 3. If not, they'll maybe sweep. So I look at them. I say they get the number 5 seed. So I'll love to debate with you guys on my seeding, but just to refresh for some of you guys, I got Tigers number 1, Red Sox number 2, Rangers number 3, Athletics number 4, Yankees number 5. So keep spreading the word on my videos, and stay tuned also for the second part of this video. That will be the National League playoff picture. Of course, my predictions for that. And I thank you for watching.